stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
Hey, it's VOR!
Yes, it is.
And this is Ed.
And this is Mike.
And this is Carl.
Carl's over there singing, "Dicks in the wind." You all swinging your dicks in the wind.
Did I ever share My Dick, that band My Dick, with you?
Yes.
Where they sing the songs and then they change all the words to My Dick? That's cool.
Yeah. It's a great way to take something that you do in a road trip or at a bar and make an album out of it. Sure.
I was actually at a party with my friend, like at his house, and he has a Chromecast, so he has it plugged into his TV, and then you can just play stuff directly from your tablet or your phone or anything. It's great for parties. So what did I do? I queued up the entire album of My Dick, and we listened to that motherfucker from beginning to end, and it was so good because everyone's like, "Oh, I know this song." I'm like, "No, you don't."
It'd be great to leave it on the background.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like, oh, I know that song. You're just like, and then next thing you know, it's like, my dick is on your list. You know, it's like, yeah. It's like, every once in a while, it would just come to the forefront, and everyone just would lose it, and then it would just go back, and it just sounds like a regular greatest hits, like a mixtape. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Next time I have a party, I'm gonna pick up My Dick.
Yeah.
Pull out My Dick.
Yeah.
Everyone said I don't know Dick, but I do. Hey guys, real quick, just an aside, Greta Van Diesel and Venus DiGiorno.
Are those the drag names you?
Yeah.
Those are nice.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, just go to vorradio.com if you ever want to reach us. We have a Facebook, blah, 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 blah. We're very, very reachable. If you ever come up with a good drag name, send that shit to us. Send it.
Yeah, send us on our Twitter handles. Use them. Here they are.
That'd be awesome.
Cool. Well, speaking of drag queens, we got to go to the Republicom.
Damn right.
Because I'm hoping there's a drag queen on there.
Me too.
All right, let's kick it. All the guns in this.
The funny thing is they probably won't hear this at home, but the song that you used for the Republicom isn't even the one that we use anymore.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that was fun.
It's a great song, though. Thanks, Clint.
Yeah, Clint wrote both Republicom stingers, and it's interesting that, boy, if you can't get enough VOR, because two people edit the audio and the video ends of it, they can be really different experiences. Yeah,
because I know for a fact that I leave shit in because it's so bad that it's good, or I might, like, because I think actually we had a false start the other day when you're just like, Mike, if you're going to start the show, you need to tell me. I'm pretty sure I left that in the episode.
Whereas I cut that all out just to make sure that it was still 15 minutes.
Where I said, fuck it, entertainment.
Yeah. I'm like, we'll have the worst stuff later. We'll eventually edit it back in.
Because, see, I know better. I'm not going to do that shit. I always say, like, oh, I got stuff put aside for our best of or the worst of or our greatest hits. Now, it's never going to happen because I can barely get the show out as it is right now, let alone doing extra stuff. So.
There's that. But I also have the flexibility on the audio side to add in extra music or, music beds and things like that, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So. Well, I love just talking about us all day long, but let's have other people do it for us.
Yeah, let's hear what other people think about this, man.
Let's turn this circle jerk into a Dutch rudder. Let's throw someone else in.
Yeah. Oh, J. Baca.
Hey, Ed, Mike, and Carl. How's it going? It's Jamie from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Hope you guys had a great Halloween. Loved your Sherlock costume there, Ed. But didn't see what Mike and Carl had, like if you guys wore costumes. Anyways, talking about Rebels. I think here's my thoughts on it. When Clone Wars came out, we were still, kind of like that hangover buzz from the prequels that, you went to a party and it just seemed like a better party than it was because everyone was wearing like the best outfits, drinking the best booze, but they're like, okay, this isn't really that good of a time, but it really looked like a good time, and then there's that hungover. Like, let's say you're on a vacation and like the first 4 days are flash, and then you're like, what are we fucking doing here? But you still have 3 days left, kind of thing. That's what the Clone Wars felt like to me. I wanted to like it so much when it came out. It was right off of the whole 30th anniversary, which was probably the peak year ever of Star Wars collecting, I think, personally. Well, for at least, like a Hasbro point of view. Anyways, this new show, Rebels, it's a lot easier to like. It requires a lot less effort. You put it on, you can forget about the Clone Wars. Don't have to worry about any of that bullshit. And, it's just like a fun new show set before A New Hope, and it's got that kind of sense of adventure and stuff. And it does feel like it's going to expand, but I also like that it's a linear adventure story instead of hopping around all over the fucking place and in timeline like Clone Wars did. That was like basically, I don't know, maybe they just, I don't know, something clicked and they just got it better, I think, this time. Anyways, I'm sure by the time you guys hear this Republicon, you've already talked about all that shit. Anyways, fucking love you guys. It's over 2 minutes. Sorry about that. You guys have a great evening. And, yeah, one last thing. Did you guys see or know that about the James Earl Jones part, Darth Vader at Rebels at the end when he's there? Did you guys see or hear that? And if so,
No.
What did you think? I thought, there's Vader. I think his face. It kind of annoyed me that they kind of made him look like the Ralph McQuarrie concept, like just that dent in the nose. Like, fuck, enough with the Ralph McQuarrie fucking references, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, why couldn't he just look like fucking Darth Vader? That's a gripe. Anyways, cheers.
It's funny because he does raise a lot of the points that we kind of hit on. Like I said, I think being focused on the story, cutting down the cast, making it a very specific time and place in this universe really has helped the storytelling, whereas Clone Wars was just way too big, and that's just the prequels in general. And I think we've gotten into the original trilogy way of telling stories, and I think it clicks.
Yeah, and also by having new characters, not just to sell toys, but new people that we don't know yet. There are tropes, and yet you've got a lot of room to grow. So you can go on this adventure with them, learn as they do, get into these things. There's no expectation. We know that Star Wars is coming. We know how it all ends up. People have used that excuse for why they don't care about the prequels or why they don't care about the Clone Wars or anything in between, just because you know the end. I'm like, yeah, really? Have you ever looked at the history section at a bookstore? So I mean, just because it's been done before doesn't mean that stories about it are not valid. Oh my God, fucking Mad Men. Is it a stupid show because that was the 60s and it's over? No, there's tons of stories to tell. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm like, there's a million ways you can go, even though you know in the grand scheme of things how things are going to go. And by getting away from main characters especially, it keeps those characters' integrity intact. And that way Obi-Wan can just go be Obi-Wan. Every now and then his hologram or something will pop in. But we get to learn about these new people and see where they go. So that's cool.
And yeah, and I think that's something that Jamie kind of hit on, and we didn't, was this is standalone. You don't have to have watched the Clone Wars. I stopped watching the Clone Wars after 2 seasons. I came into Rebels, and I haven't missed a beat. Later on, there might be a reference to something that happened in Clone Wars or something, but so far, I have not felt like I need to go back and watch an episode of Clone Wars to understand what's happening in Rebels. And it's really strange because it doesn't feel like Clone Wars, just like the prequel trilogy doesn't always feel like Star Wars original trilogy. You know, it doesn't feel like it's even the same universe sometimes, and I mean that in a good way, because I didn't like it, and this is getting back to more closer to a universe where I'm comfortable and happy. So.
Well, it's getting back to your universe is what it's getting back to.
Yeah, it's getting back into the stuff that we fell in love with. So.
Right.
Yeah, but again, without beating us over the head with it, you know, like when Shadows of the Empire came out, you know, that was their first kind of spin-off effort. So Han Solo's frozen. What do? So we have fake Han Solo,
And fake Millennium Falcon.
and a fake Millennium Falcon. And you know what? Everybody loves the B-wing. So now it's a smuggler ship that does this for no actual practical reason. It's just to hook you on that old familiar feeling, and that's all it was.
Yeah.
But I think what's happening is, as time goes on, Star Wars is beginning to recognize that they don't have to do so much of that. Like, in all honesty, yeah, I loved the idea of getting more Boba Fett. I did. I loved the idea of getting more Boba Fett. However, what they didn't understand is that I don't necessarily have to see that helmet to get Boba Fett. If someone said, this is the story of Boba Fett as a young man, you can tell his whole story and never show that helmet until the very end when he takes it and he becomes that character. I'd still be just as invested and interested because I love the Boba Fett thing. But no, not with Star Wars. They'll go, okay, we'll grow Boba Fett, and we won't put him anywhere near that Mandalorian helmet, but you'll have thousands of them hanging out in the background. His uncle will come in and be like, so, well, guys, just got back from the quarry, and damn it, the boys out there are bitching about the machines ain't working, and he puts on his bucket and he sits down and eats, and mom comes around the corner and she takes hers off and serves soup out of it. Which leads me to Jamie mentioning the fact that the Ralph McQuarrie stuff has to be shoved down our throat. Like, I know that someone there in their marketing mathematical genius group is saying, oh no, the 40-year-olds love that Ralph McQuarrie shit. We got to rub it in their face. If he doesn't get a little bit of the Ralph McQuarrie, then we're gonna forget about it. And blah blah blah. That's money. And they got to do it every now and again. But guess what? They don't. Like, I really, really wish that there was a real evolution to Vader's helmet. Like,
yes.
Like, I wish that it would have gone out like an iron lung stuck to the front of his face, and his head was peeled back, and he was like just part skin, and it just would have just grown into this thing that could walk on its own eventually.
I'm so glad you brought that point up. Oh, I'm so excited. We're going long. I don't fucking care. I'm so glad you said that, Mike, because here's the thing, is the going to Ralph McQuarrie and Rebels for inspiration makes sense. Because Ralph McQuarrie did the concept art for Star Wars, right? True. So this is the stuff that led up to what we see. So in a way, it is kind of that time period between these two movies. So Ralph kind of fits in there with his art style. Like, this is what is eventually going to grow into the stuff that we saw in the next three movies.
That aesthetic needs to be reminded.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, and this is the perfect point, is they fucked it up in Revenge of the Sith. They should have made him look like Ralph McQuarrie, Darth Vader.
Take us home!
That's when they should have done it. And then you could have seen that evolution from him not being the Darth Vader we know to giving him somewhere to go and grow. He should have came out with like the kind of elongated, kind of pointy-looking Ralph McQuarrie sort of helmet. And it didn't even have to be a direct. It didn't even have to be a direct translation of that concept, but just have aspects of it. But instead, day one, Darth Vader looks like Darth Vader.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was Lucas making the call of people want the money shot, you know? Which, oh, by the way, if you want to see some great Halloween shit, Jamie went this year as George Lucas and was handing out Lucas Jar Jar dollars, and he was walking around with like Episode 1 like light up lightsaber suckers. Hilarious, great shit.
I'm putting that. If you're watching the YouTube, it's on the screen right now. You're right here. You are seeing that picture.
Put it up during his call too.
Yes.
In case you missed it. In case you skipped through the calls. I don't know.
It was a greaser. It was a greaser wig, wasn't it? That he spray painted.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
it was
so
total-
great.
Total Buffon that he's painted. It's hilarious. And you know he was just walking around doing the perfect impression because that guy's talented as fuck.
Yeah, he is.
Ugh.
Yeah. You know what? I was really surprised, and I even said this to him. I was like, he really looks like a younger, thinner George Lucas. Like he really pulls that, and I don't mean that in a mean way. Like he really pulled the look off. It was great.
He did. But yeah, the thing about Vader, everybody, we've all talked about. We've talked about it in the show a million times in the past about we want an evolution, and it made sense. But again, I think he was just going for the money shot. People expect Vader, so we have to show them Vader. He didn't give his audience enough credit. Or let alone, I mean, you can't tell me that all these different colored clones weren't a marketing move. Yes, they're fun, and it kind of makes sense in a military aspect, especially before the Empire wins everything. But we all fell for it. I did. I wanted all those orange Utapau troopers. So what he could have done with Vader, yes, is you don't have to have it look exactly like Vader for us to know it's Vader. We've been watching all these movies, dude. We just made it through at least the first three. So we know that Anakin's becoming this thing. So if it was this horrible, even if it was more metallic looking and robotish, and Lucino does a great job of explaining in the books about how uncomfortable it is and unwieldy, and Anakin being Anakin's just like, these legs suck.
The legs hurt.
Yeah, he's like, I'm walking like Frankenstein here. This is bullshit. I don't even know what Frankenstein is, but I'm just going. It's terrible. I can't fit in my ship. So, that would have been great, yeah, instead of just delivering the final product. So it is weird that they would go back and use that design, unless there's people like some of us here present tonight who plan on never seeing the prequels ever again in their lifetimes.
And I'm starting to wonder if it isn't a little bit of revisionist history. Because now, and I hate to say this because everyone loves to say this, but now that George Lucas is out of the way, are we seeing what can be accomplished with the Star Wars franchise? Because honestly, I still haven't seen that Darth Vader scene that Jamie mentioned, but what if they are trying to do what we just talked about? Like he's evolving. He doesn't look quite like the Darth Vader that we see in A New Hope. I mean, are they trying to I don't know. Like it's really interesting. I want to see what they're doing with the Star Wars franchise. I'm really excited about the next movie. I want to see what they have in store for us. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's great things. I think there's a lot for us to be excited about. I think that there's no way to undersell this and no reason to do it.
Yeah.
I say we should take the bull by I think we should take the proverbial excitement bull by his excited electronic horns and face bang that thing right straight to hell until those movies come out, which is almost around the corner. I have not been this excited for Star Wars in a really long time, and it feels good to be back to us again. Just for a little while. Like it really, really does. I'm so thankful for every bit of this. I think that's why I'm kind of taking a lighter approach to liking some of this stuff. My reasons for not watching it is not me poo-pooing on the Rebels. It's just shit my life blows.
Yeah, and like I said, I think of the three of us, you're going to probably like it the most. I just have this feeling because, like, I'm watching some of it, I'm like, it's lighthearted enough, and like I said, you're the least cynical of us.
Yeah.
So oh my gosh, dude. I openly laugh and openly love Teen Titans Go, and I don't care anybody. I don't care if anybody likes it. It does not matter. It doesn't hurt me that everyone's like, why are you watching this? Dude, that shit's awesome and delicious, and I love it. I have a feeling I'm going to like this Rebels thing. I'm just jumping in because I love heavy-handed comedy, and I love kids shit. It's all good.
Yeah, and this is all that stuff done well, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I'd say it's done well. It's pretty to look at without getting beaten over the head by.
Except for the Wookiees. Oh my God, the Wookiees are ugly.
Yeah, the Wookiees look like toys already.
Oh, they were so bad. But other than that, it's gorgeous. Sorry, that just popped in my head. I was like, oh my God, those Wookiees. I forgot they were a thing.
That too.
Well, you mentioned Wookiees, and then somebody said toys. Like, you guys haven't mentioned any of the toys that you've seen.
I haven't seen any of them.
I've seen them, and this is a dark time for toys, as well as the rebellion. See what I did there? Quiet. And because they're, we, the veteran Star Wars people and collectors, we lived through this evolution of 5-point articulation. Then it comes back with 6-point, and then the paint apps get amazing, and then the sculpts get better, the likenesses are better, the paint's better, more articulation, little by little by little by little over the course of like 15 years. 15 years to where we have like ball-jointed everything on these really beautiful, beautiful 4-inch figures.
Until you get a 6-inch Stormtrooper that can actually jerk it. Look at that.
Bam. That's evolution, baby.
That's evolution. If in progress, right there. That is the end result.
Yes, that is the culmination of toy technology. But since it's been between movies, the Clone Wars is dying down. When there's no show to push, there's not going to be product, and that's why a lot of stuff has left the toy shelves. Now, what Hasbro tried to do was keep Star Wars alive, but kind of go retro, also just appeal to kids, bring the price point down because articulation costs money, so that's why you have the different tiers of toys. And I know that we're initially down on these 5-point articulated figures. What's hard for me is that the sculpts sometimes work better when there's not that much articulation. Mm-hmm. Like there's a Jedi Luke that keeps calling my name because he just looks fantastic. But I don't want another just Jedi Luke that does that. So there's that happening right now. Now with the Rebels toys coming out, again, I really feel that their audience is kids, and those are the perfect toys to give to kids. Because with more articulation, it's more shit that's going to break, or they're going to chew on hands and choke on wrists. So these figures, I think it's really stiff and boring. He's choking on a wrist.
Yeah.
I'm not that into the figures. The toys just seem really plain and underwhelming, but some of the designs are neat. I know they're going to release a Ghost eventually, but I haven't seen anything about that. And I saw the prototype of the Troop Transporter, which looks really nice.
The Phantom came out in Lego form.
That's their dropship?
I don't know necessarily what that is. It's called the Phantom, and I saw it because it was advertised as the Ghost, and people were going crazy for it. This happened at Walmart, and people were going crazy for it when they got there. They were finding that it was not the Ghost; it was the Phantom. And
that is a dropship. Yeah, it's cool. And even in the show, it clearly looks like a toy, but at least it makes sense when used in context.
And I will say, again, going back to the toys, the two things design-wise that I really don't like about the show clearly come from that aspect, and that's the Ezra wrist-mounted slingshot and the Inquisitor's rotating lightsaber blade. Other than that, the show design-wise has been really good, vehicle and weapon-wise. Anything that's new to the universe, I think, has been done really well. So
yeah, actually, the Troop Transporter isn't that impressive. It just looks cool. The final execution is kind of whack as a toy.
And I'm loving the extreme frowny face on all of the what's it called? Troopers.
I don't know. I like this. I like the Stormtrooper redesign. I
love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. I love those flat faces, dude. I'm loving. I'm gonna have every single one.
Yeah, I don't mind that they're not 100% like the movie at all. I think they're totally fit within this world.
It's nice and stylized, kind of like that was the one thing I liked about the Clone Wars was the clone troopers, how stylized and cool looking they were. So I can definitely forgive it when doing it to stormtroopers also. So.
Mm-hmm. When you're doing it to stormtroopers.
Doing it.
I'll always let stormtroopers do it to me. I don't care. I don't care.
We really should put a fork in this one, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna go off in a toy land. So.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
But maybe we should do that here soon. Stay tuned, because I'm sure we'll probably have a whole episode dedicated to this, because I have a feeling we have more Star Wars love to give. So it wouldn't surprise me before the end of the year you don't have at least one more Star Wars show coming out from us.
I will stake my reputation on it.
Yeah, I think it's a
Your
good safe call.
I'll stake all our reputations on it, brother.
That's quite ballsy of you, Ed.
I'll stake my balls on it.
I'll stick my balls on it.
So, as mentioned, yeah, check us out next week. I don't know what we're coming back with, but that's okay, because just be here and you'll enjoy. Thanks for listening, and you can get more at vorradio.com. Links to feedback, so you can email us, you can send us a 3-minute voicemail like Jamie did, or an MP3 if you feel like you got to go that route. That's great. But just don't use any fancy music. Just keep it straight.
Yeah, because it really messes with YouTube.
Yeah, we just won't be able to play it on the show, on the video show.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're always over on Facebook, so check out Voice of the Republic, and just link to it from vorradio.com. You don't need to type all that crap. We'll help you out. It's fine. But yeah, always active and always fun. Cool.
And always part naked, at least from the waist down.
Mm-hmm.
Fact.
Actual. Yes.
There's a Porky Pig Club, and we have no class. All right, guys. So next week, back at you. May the Force
Be with.
That us.
Pens of desire.